everybody. This video has kind of been long overdue, and since hunting season is over for the most part, we should finally have some time to get to more of these gear review videos and show some more stuff that we've been testing out and reviewing. We've been using this scope for a couple of hunting seasons now, as well as for just generic shooting, varmint control, target practice, and just stuff similar to that. Let's get into it, and we're going to do a full breakdown on the Sightmark Wraith 4K digital day night vision scope. There are, one quick note before we really get into it though, there are a few kind of new models that may have slight changes or differences to the one that we purchased almost 2 years ago, which was the 4K. They now have a 4K Max and a 4K HD out, which are a little different as far as some of the settings and options, like the number of profiles you can have. I think a little bit of the magnification is a little different, but it's all pretty much the same thing. Alright, let's start with some of the technical specs, and then we'll kind of wrap up at the end with more of our thoughts and observations on personal preference type of stuff and whether we liked it or not. The scope has a lightweight aluminum housing and offers a true 4K, which is a 4000 by 3000 sensor resolution picture with a 1280 by 720 resolution display, which is the part that you're looking at in the scope. It does have a 3 to 24x digital magnification and a built-in battery that will provide generally between 5 to 8 hours of use, depending on if you're recording videos, looking at settings, changing stuff around, that kind of deal. There's 3 main operating modes that you can choose from: your regular day, your black and white night vision, and your green night vision, which is an option that most other night vision scopes don't offer. There's 10 different reticle options, and for ours, 10 different color options, although I believe the Max and the HD only offer 9. The internal battery is charged with a USB-C type cord, and it has a standard micro SD card for recording any of your pictures or videos. Multiple profiles, either 4 or 5 depending on the exact model, can be saved for different weapons, different zeros, or other preferred settings like your reticle or your color or any of that type of stuff. And as well included with the scope is an infrared illuminator for the night vision settings. When it comes to video recording, picture taking, it can all be accessed through the playback option, and you can review any pictures or videos through the scope wherever you are before you transfer them to an external device. It also offers a variety of resolution options depending on how much space or how much battery power you want to take up: 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second, 4K, 1080, 720, even slow motion on some of the stuff like 60 frames per second. However, this will remove the reticle and the other overlays from the recording if you want to keep those on there though. It does record sound as well. However, of course, there's no speaker on the scope, so you can't hear it when you're watching it on the scope. And the auto record function is pretty good for anyone looking to record their hunting takedown shots or target shooting feats or just anything like that. The digital night vision works pretty well and can register out to about 300 yards. The included illuminator works adequately for shorter ranges up to approximately 100 to 150 yards. However, with most digital night vision scopes and night vision hunting, Most people are going to upgrade to a much larger infrared illuminator that they're using on a more stationary platform like a tripod or some kind of stationary mount. However, for the price and the function, this is a great entry point for any type of night vision, hunting, or optic stuff. The digital zoom boasts an up to 8x multiplier on top of the 3x optical zoom. So you can get some pretty good high amounts of magnification much more easily than just traditional scopes. But the drawback on that one is that you can get some graininess at higher magnifications. Although even at those higher magnifications with some graininess, there's still a really good amount of picture to be able to take any kind of shot that you may need, with potentially an increased risk of better shot placement. As is standard with any type of digital scope or monocular or anything that uses a screen, the brightness and the contrast of the screen can be adjusted to your personal preference and what works best for your eyes. Another kind of neat feature that this has that not all other scopes will have is a built-in visual rangefinder. It kind of takes the place of a laser rangefinder. It's not quite as good or accurate, but it can help you out in a pinch. You can select from several different species average sizes and use the adjustment knob to increase or decrease the size to match it up to your target, which will give you a relative range to that height of an animal. So if you're hunting deer, you've got a deer out there, you don't know exactly how far it is, you can use the deer setting and adjust until the range block measurement lines up with how tall the deer is. Then it will tell you that it is roughly X amount of yards away. It's useful if you don't know the ranges for the areas you're hunting, or you don't have access to or can easily get to your laser rangefinder, but it is at least also cheaper than a scope with a built-in rangefinder, and it's less bulky. The one-shot zero function is a pretty neat feature that allows you to fire one shot, and then while in that submenu, move a second reticle to where your shot actually hit, confirm it, save it to whichever profile you want, and then you'll basically be zeroed. You might need to adjust just a little bit here or there, and of course, depending on your ammunition, there might be a little bit of play there as well. But by far, it's a much easier way to zero with less ammunition compared to just traditional shoot, spot, adjust, shoot, spot, adjust type zeroing. Some other kind of smaller features that are included that are kind of neat are a heading bearing, an incline amount, a compass that you can calibrate to make sure that it's correctly lined up, as well as a shot counter, and of course, date and time. Last but not least, the optional quick disconnect mount is an absolute must-have. We talked about this on our Wraith Mini Thermal video as well. They make one for this optic also, and it'll let you take full advantage of the multiple profiles that you can use and keep this optic zeroed to quickly transfer it between multiple weapons of varying calibers. On the whole, we've been very pleased with this scope. It makes video recording incredibly easy, and the 4K quality is unparalleled for any other type of recording you might be doing through a scope. The only downsides we really encountered would potentially be the battery life. On something like longer sits in colder morning weather, that battery's just going to drain a lot faster than if you're just kind of at a good warmer temperature. However, it will work with external battery packs. And then the only other downside kind of is with the digital magnification. When you get into those higher magnifications, like the 24x or one or two levels below that, it's going to get kind of grainy, at least as far as video footage goes, but it's still more than adequate to be able to get proper shot placement and really see stuff that's a good bit further out. Well, I guess that pretty much wraps up our review for the Sightmark Wraith 4K. If there's anything that we didn't cover that you want to know about it, or any questions that you have on it, or if you're wondering what we thought about one specific thing or how we use another specific thing with it, just leave us a comment, let us know. We try to check them out and we'll get back with you. Thanks for checking out our video here today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share it. Let us know what you want to see next time. We'll see you later.